Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, other brown bodies who don't have fair trials. Jesus is king, and he chose to come to this world to be near to us.
Amen.
There are so many ways that Jesus just chooses downward mobility to be near to us. Who ever hears of such a king? Who hears of a king who wants to hang out with his commoners, with peasants, with the low class? Who wants to sit with the people who are wearing scrubs? Like, he wants to sit on his throne. He wants people serving him. He wants to wear the best. He wants to be the best. But Jesus, your king, chose to come in this state because he wants to be near to you. Even just thinking that God chose human status over his royalty and his splendor. All of us, not all of us, all of you, and used to be, are college students. And we've experienced the honor and the privilege of what it is to have an education. And it comes with struggle, right? It costs money, it's hard work. Some of us have to pay our way to college, and our parents have to help us out. For some of us, we get financial aid. But we have the honor and the privilege of a college education. Some of us don't even have to work while we're in school. Right? So I want you to imagine that tomorrow, the powers of our government say we are going back in time and we are revoking your opportunity to college because of your ethnicity. We are revoking your opportunity to afford and to get livable wages. We are revoking your opportunities to get jobs. Sit in that. Imagine that. That sounds whack. I can't imagine that. I can't, because I've lived with so much privilege. We've lived with so much privilege. But that's what Jesus does. He chooses into that. He chooses to revoke all those things, all those honors, all those privileges, and step down. Because he wants to be near to you. I want you to imagine being people who live in a free country, who consume daily, who actually waste daily, who have options. Just walk out and where are we going to go eat? With your friends. And you get to be safe. There's no war, right? War is actually a faraway thing we don't hear about a lot of things, or don't really care as a country. And that tomorrow you are sent back to a country somewhere where you're falling asleep to the sound of bullets and fighting and war. And water, lights. And there's no job opportunities. Where corruption keeps you from walking safely at night. I would freak out. Our parents, I'm sure a lot of us have heard that, our parents actually walked out of that, right? Any of you guys heard your parents' story? That they came to this country to give us a better opportunity, you know? Well, that's really difficult to imagine because we've experienced all these privileges and honors and comfort and safety. We don't gotta watch over our bags. Well, Jesus does the opposite of that. He does the opposite of safety and comfort. chooses to go to the opposite of his comfort for us because he wants to be near to us. He's chosen that. Our God comes and he inhabits this life with us. And he breaks every rule that we know or understand in order to dwell with us. To live with us, to inhabit with us, because he loves you. That's why. Same reason that we hear that our parents are telling us a story in their narrative of how they came to this country to better our lives and our future. With that selflessness, that's the selflessness that Jesus chose humanity in order to be closer to us. There is nothing that can keep God from being present with us. And this is just the beginning of his life, guys. He's just a baby. It's nada. Because he is the king and he has chosen to be near to you guys and to be into all of us. When I was, so I grew up in church, and I always had questions. I didn't really I heard a lot about God, and I went to church all the time. I didn't really ever experience or understand God. I asked a lot of questions, and sadly, I'd always be told, Yolanda, don't question, don't ask. So I didn't. I stopped asking. And as I stopped asking, my curiosity for God just okay, it went away. And I just started doing me. Just started doing me. Doing ungodly things. Because God was just he was this idea that he was this thing that people just went to church and shared their story, but I had never experienced God as a personal God who saw me, who related to me. So I just did me. I made bad decisions, and the more bad decisions I made, the further that I got from God. I took a step towards just having fun, and I took a step away from God. And I took a step towards being comfortable and just doing whatever I wanted, and I took a step towards what God wanted, away from what God wanted, because I wanted this, and God was over here, but it just didn't match. It didn't make sense. And as I was making those poor decisions, I was all up in alcohol and drugs and boys and gangs, and I became very angry and very bitter and very full of unforgiveness. And I experienced so much from my dad and my brother, who just a lot of abuse that caused me to be very defensive and very I'm gonna do me, and nobody's gonna tell me what to do. Nobody is gonna boss me around. Nobody's gonna treat me a way that I don't like. I don't understand anybody telling me opposite of what I should do, because why not do what I want to do? And I got really depressed, and I started